This is what it looks like when I find it. It's dirty. I find mixed media, I have metal here, but the majority of what I'm finding is glass. And they're always broken. I don't find things that are intact. But my favorite are probably the ones that say Aspen 1897. Every once in a while, I'll find a glass, and that feels like home. I guess in some ways I think of myself as a land artist because I'm collaborating with the land. I forage for glass and other old trash in dumping grounds in Aspen. And these are places that predate modern landfills. So I'm going into the spots where locals 100, 150 years ago used to pull up their wagon and empty out their domestic trash. The work that I do comes from the land, so number one inspiration for me is nature. Go for a walk? I go in to these cliffy areas and I find what remains, which is the hard bits. It's the metal and the pottery and the glass and the leather that have endured outside for over 100 years. Mountain glass is like sea glass, except I find it in the mountains. And instead of being tumbled by waves and water, it's tumbled by erosion. It's essentially weather and gravity. As a 2021 Artistic Fellow at the Aspen Art Museum, I started immediately with kind of a mini community. There were 6 of us, led by Teresa Booth Brown. That first, the affirmation of being selected by the Art Museum, and then the conversations that happened within that cohort, all of it was supporting me being able to say, yes, I'm on the right path here. For my upcoming project, Written in the Trees, we found a natural clearing in the trees, which it turns out was a spiral. That was the genesis of the design. How can I amplify what nature is already doing? I think Aspen is a great place to be an artist and a really challenging place to be an artist. The great part is that there's a long history here of creatives and makers and artists and thinkers and doers, and to be in that tradition and in that culture is fantastic. Like the per capita amount of art that we have going on. This is a town of 6,000 people, and yet we have, in addition to our local galleries, we have international galleries who are here. In a tiny little place, you can have exposure and experience more art than I would argue anywhere else. It's pretty crazy.